Hello friends, today we are going to see midpoint ellipse drawing algorithm. Okay, first we will see equation wise how ellipse is drawn, and then we will use some of the equations okay to come up with a logic to generate the ellipse on the graphical output screen. So loosely stated, an ellipse is an elongated circle. You can say circle is pulled in the opposite direction, and ellipse is generated. Just so therefore elliptical curves can be generated by modifying circle drawing procedures to take into account the different dimensions of an ellipse along the major and minor axis. When we say it is an elongated circle in one of the opposite directions, so it will have two basic axes, that is major axis and minor axis, okay something like this. And there is a very typical property of ellipse. If we are uh, finding the distances from the perimeter of the ellipse from, let's say, two foci points, then the distance remains to be constant anywhere you go. So the formula is the addition of these two distances, addition of these two distances, that's a d1, that is a foci point 1 to perimeter, and d2, that is foci point 2 and perimeter. Now p x comma y is any point on the perimeter of ellipse, on the perimeter of ellipse. So that point's distance respectively from foci point 1 and foci point 2, if we add these two distances, then it remains constant throughout the elliptical curve. So that is the property of ellipse. So it is defined as the set of points such that the sum of the distances from two fixed points, that is foci, is the same for all points if the distances to the two foci from any point px comma y on the ellipse are labeled as d1 d2. Then we can say in general d1 plus d2 is constant. D1 plus d2 is constant. Now expressing distances d1 and d2 in terms of focal coordinates, that is f1 is x1 comma y1 and f2 is x2 comma y2, then we can get x minus x1 the whole square plus y minus y1 the whole square, the whole term inside the square root, plus under root x minus x2 the whole square plus y minus y2 the whole square equal to constant. So what we have done, we have just applied the distance formula. So in order to find the value of d1, we have used the coordinates of foci point and point p. Again, in order to find the d2, we have used coordinates of foci point 2 and p. And then we are adding them and making them constant, which is nothing but the ellipse property, which is nothing but the ellipse property. Now we can rearrange these terms. We can rearrange these terms, get rid of the square root, get rid of the square root, square everything up, square everything up, and then simplify the function. Simplify the function in terms of few constants, and we get the equation of ellipse in this form, that is ax square plus by square plus cxy plus dx plus ey plus f equal to 0. That we get by rearranging the terms in the above equation, the distance formula. So basically ellipse is an elongated form of circle, and that is why we can apply the methods which we devised in circle drawing algorithms, and slightly modify them and generate the ellipse on the graphical output screen. So the equation of ellipse shown in it can be written in terms of ellipse center coordinates and parameters rx and ry as. So rx and ry typically becomes my major axis and minor axis, and uh, xc and yc are nothing but my center coordinates. So if I know rx and ry, and the center coordinates are set as xc and yc respectively, then I can also rewrite the ellipse equation in this particular form, which gives me x minus xc divided by rx the whole square plus y minus yc divided by ry the whole square equal to 1, where rx and ry typically are major and minor axis, major and minor axis, okay, divided by 2 we can take, so radius of major and minor axis, or we can keep it in terms of major and minor axis itself as well and modify this formula slightly. Okay, so this was as far as ellipse drawing with the help of given center coordinates, and that is what we are going to do. We are going to ask the user to put the center coordinates and then major axis and minor axis. Okay, major axis and minor axis. Okay, here we are just trying to understand the algorithm. So given parameters rx, ry and xc, yc, we determine points x comma y for an ellipse in standard position centered on the origin, and then we shift the point so the ellipse is centered at xc, yc. So initially we set the standard position for ellipse center, that is origin, and then we shift it to the desired location of the center. So let's say something of this kind. So what we have done here is we have again divided the regions into typically 8 octants. Okay, so the octants are are made by keeping the logic as same. So we will travel from, let's say, this location, that is x equal to 0 and y equal to that is ry. Okay, y equal to ry, and from here we are going to travel in the clockwise direction in the first octant. Okay, and where the octant is going to be, so octant is going to be at that particular point where the slope is -1. Okay, where the slope is -1. So the midpoint ellipse method is applied throughout the first quadrant in two parts. Figure shows the this particular figure, it shows the division of the first quadrant according to this slope of an ellipse with rx less than ry. Okay, rx less than ry. We process this quadrant by taking unit steps in x direction where the slope of the curve has a magnitude less than 1, and taking unit steps in y direction where the slope has magnitude greater than 1. Okay, so region 1 we deal till we have slope less than 1, and in the region 2 we deal with the slope condition that is having magnitude greater than 1. Okay, so something of this kind. So let's say this is a region 1, I start from this and I reach a point where I have a tangent drawn to this elliptical curve, and that tangent's slope is -1. Okay, so that is the basically point where I am dividing the elliptical curve in the two octants. Okay, and getting the region 1 and region 2. So ellipse processing regions: over region 1 the magnitude of the ellipse slope is less than 1, over region 2 the magnitude of the ellipse slope is greater than 1. That's what I just discussed. Okay, region 1 and 2 can be processed in various ways. Okay, so there are various possibilities. We can start at position 0 comma ry as I said and step clockwise along with the elliptical path in the first quadrant, shifting from unit steps in x to unit steps in y when the slope becomes less than -1. Alternatively, we could start at rx comma 0 and select points in counterclockwise order, shifting from unit steps in y to unit steps in x when the slope becomes greater than -1. So we take the start position at 0 comma ry and step along ellipse path in clockwise order throughout the first quadrant. So that is what we are going to do, and this is the equation which we have rewritten. Okay, so function of ellipse in x comma y is given as ry square x square plus rx square y square minus rx square minus ry square. So we are rewriting this function from this equation. Okay, rewriting this function from this equation. So we take everything on one side. Okay, we take everything on one side and equate it to a function of ellipse, or rewrite it as function of ellipse. Okay, that is ry square x square plus rx square y square minus rx square ry square, that is equal to function of ellipse. Okay, now when we do that, it gives us a property which is almost similar to the circle property. So if this particular function value is less than 0, then x comma y is inside the ellipse boundary. Okay, if the value is equal to 0, it is on the ellipse boundary, and if it is greater than 0, it is outside the ellipse boundary. So It helps us to select a particular pixel based on the condition uh, that gives us the value of this function may be greater than 0, equal to 0, or less than 0. Okay, and then we will be able to decide which pixel we are going to plot, okay, so that we represent elliptical curve properly on the graphical output screen. And this nothing but becomes our decision parameter. Okay, this nothing but becomes our decision parameter. Okay, so starting at 0 comma ry, we take unit steps in x direction until we reach the boundary between region 1 and 2. Then we switch to unit steps in y direction over the remainder of the curve in the first quadrant. At each step, we need to test the value of the slope of the curve. Okay, so these are the two main conditions that we look after. Okay, so we start from this condition. Okay, 0 comma ry. Okay, and we take unit steps. So the moment we are in region 1, okay, the moment we are in region 1, okay, you will see that it is almost similar to the circle. It is almost similar to the circle. Okay, and we tend to increment the x coordinate, okay, on the regular basis, and we see whether y coordinate can be y coordinate can be decremented or not. Okay, uh, till we reach the slope equal to -1 condition. Okay, and from region 2 onwards, okay, uh, we tend to decrement y continuously, and we see whether x can be incremented or not. Okay, so the slope of the curve is identified by, let's say, differentiating the curve equation, okay, ellipse equation with respect to x. So if we differentiate that equation, we get dy by dx is which equation I'm talking about? The equation that we just derived over here, the ellipse equation. Okay, so this equation we are going to differentiate with respect to x. Okay, differentiate with respect to x, and we get this. So dy by dx is minus 2 ry square x divided by 2 rx square y. Okay, rx square y. Now at the boundary between region 1 and 2, the slope value is -1. We know that at the boundary region between region 1 and 2, the slope value is -1. This is particular slope we have found out. Okay, differentiation with respect to x for variable y. So dy by dx we have done. So dy by dx 1 -1, if I put, so minus signs will get cut, and I will have 2 ry square x equal to 2 rx square y. Okay, 2 ry square x equal to 2 rx square y. Therefore we move out of region 1 whenever 2 ry square x is greater than or equal to 2 rx square y. Okay, so this gives us some decision parameter value. Okay, wherein we can immediately compare, okay, these two values, and if this 2 ry square x is greater than 2 rx square y, okay, then we are going to move out of the region 1. Okay, so this is what I was talking about, xk yk. Okay, this is the ellipse equation that we just saw. Okay, and this is the midpoint between the two pixels, so yk and yk minus 1. Okay, yk and yk minus 1. Now for every iteration, as you can see, when I'm going next, okay, when I'm going next, I'm going to increment xk, okay, till I reach the slope equal to -1 condition. Okay, and I will be deciding whether to decrement yk or not to decrement yk, or in other words, whether to decrement y or not to decrement y. Okay, so if I have to decrement y, I will be reaching yk minus 1, and so on. Okay, but at some point, if I don't want to decrement, let's say here, okay, here I will only select this pixel. Okay, then here again, based on the midpoint condition, okay, midpoint condition, now this is also already covered, then I will reach here. Okay, I will reach here. So then I will decide whether y decrement is required or not required. Okay, so that is what going to happen at every iteration till my slope becomes -1. Till my slope becomes -1. So midpoint between candidate pixels at sampling position xk plus 1 along an elliptical path. Okay, so this is the decision parameter that we are going to use. Okay, p1k, that is going to be the decision parameter for region 1. Okay, that is in xk plus 1 comma yk minus half. Okay, yk minus half. So if this P1K less than 0, the midpoint is inside the ellipse and the pixel on scan line YK is closer to the ellipse boundary. Okay, so this point, if this midpoint is, if this P1K is less than 0, that means the point is inside the ellipse. Okay, and then we are not going to decrement y, we will stay with the y coordinate as yk. And if this position is outside the ellipse, okay, or on the ellipse, then we select the scan line, that is yk minus 1. Okay, so this P1K basically talks about this midpoint region, okay, the function of this midpoint. Okay, and based on the value, okay, based on the value of this P1K, whether that value is less than 0, then this midpoint lies inside the elliptical boundary, inside the ellipse geometry. Okay, if it is greater than or equal to 0, then it lies on the ellipse boundary or outside the ellipse boundary. When it is less than 0, we are going to select yk, so we are not going to decrement y in that case. And if it is greater than or equal to 0, we are going to decrement y, and next position is going to be yk minus 1. Okay, in the region 2, okay, in the region 2, what we do is, okay, continuously y keeps on decrementing. Okay, continuously y keeps on decrementing, and then it is the choice between x coordinates, okay, whether to increment x or not to increment x, and that is being governed by the midpoint which is taken between this xk and xk plus 1. Earlier we have taken midpoint between yk and yk minus 1. Now we will take midpoint between xk and xk plus 1. Okay, so midpoint between candidate pixel at sampling position yk minus 1 along an elliptical path. Okay, along an elliptical path. So P2K is typically given as function of ellipse between xk plus half, this xk plus half, this coordinate, okay, that is at the this vertical line, that is xk plus half, comma yk minus 1. So this is the horizontal line yk minus 1. Okay, now if this value is greater than 0, if the value is greater than 0, the mid position is outside the ellipse boundary and we select the pixel at xk. So if this is greater than 0, if this greater than 0, that tells us the midpoint position, okay, is outside the ellipse boundary, and in that case we are not going to increment xk. Okay, we are not going to increment xk. And if this P2K is less than or equal to 0, the midpoint is inside or on the ellipse boundary, and we select the pixel position at xk plus 1. So that means if this midpoint is outside the ellipse boundary, that is it is greater than 0, then we are not going to increment xk, so we will keep the x position as xk. And if this is on the ellipse boundary or out inside the ellipse boundary, okay, inside the ellipse boundary or less than 0, okay, then we are going to increment xk, and the next position is going to be xk plus 1. Okay, so after this discussion, okay, let us quickly look at the algorithm. Okay, let us quickly look at the algorithm steps. So algorithm, uh, okay, is fairly simple. Whatever steps we are seeing here, okay, are just the further elaboration of those equations which we just discussed. Okay, so not to get confused from where the terms have arrived. Okay, so first is input rx ry and ellipse center xc yc, and obtain the first point on an ellipse centered on the origin as x0 y0 equal to 0 comma ry. Okay, calculate the initial value of the decision parameter in region 1 given by this formula. So now here for first decision parameter, okay, for first decision parameter we have put x0 as 0 and y0 as ry. Okay, x0 as 0 and y0 as ry in p1k equation. Okay, in p1k equation, and we have derived this. Okay, we have derived this. So it is p10 ry square minus rx square ry plus 1 by 4 rx square. Okay, now since it is an ellipse geometry, so the things which we discussed for line generation and circle generation, okay, as the geometry becomes difficult, okay, we may have to include square terms, we may have to include fraction terms. Okay, so this 1 by 4 can be inputted as 0.25 multiplied by the rx square. Okay, so that we will do in the actual program. At each xk position in region 1 starting at k equal to 0, perform the following test. If this p1k less than 0, the next pixel along the ellipse centered on 0 comma 0 is xk minus xk plus 1 comma yk, and the next pixel position is given by p1k plus 1 is p1k plus 2 ry square xk plus 1 plus ry square. Otherwise, the next pixel position is xk plus 1 comma yk minus 1, and the next pixel position is given by p1k plus 1, that is p1k plus 2 ry square xk plus 1 minus 2 rx square yk plus 1 plus ry square. Okay, with this 2 ry square xk plus 1 equal to 2 ry square xk plus 2 ry square. Okay, and 2 rx square yk plus 1 is yk minus 1, sorry, plus is equal to 2 rx square yk minus 2 rx square. Okay, so this is just to simplify these two terms for actual using them in the program, and continue until I have this condition. So that is slope equal to minus 1, that is 2 ry square x greater than or equal to 2 rx square y. So here we are checking here we are checking the slope condition, that is till slope equal to minus 1. Okay, till slope equal to minus 1, and then calculate the initial value of the decision parameter in region 2. Okay, so this is the initial value calculation, initial decision parameter calculation in the region 2. Okay, and using the last point x0 y0 calculated in region 1, so we will use the last point over here and get the value. Okay, get the value at each yk position in region 2 starting at k equal to 0, perform the following test. If p2k is greater than 0, the next point along the ellipse centered on 0 comma 0 is xk comma yk minus 1. So if it is greater than 0, we are not going to increment xk, we will only decrement yk. The next decision parameter is given by this equation, that is p2k plus 1 is equal to p2k minus 2 rx square yk plus 1 plus rx square. Okay, otherwise the next pixel point is the next point on the circle or the ellipse is xk plus 1 comma yk minus 1, and the next decision parameter is given as p2k plus 1, that is p2k plus 2 ry square xk plus 1 minus 2 rx square yk minus 1 plus rx square. Okay, using the same incremental calculations for x and y as in region 1. Okay, determine the symmetry of points. So what we are going to do, again determine the symmetry of points. Okay, so if I'm going to generate the this curvature. Okay, and then I'm going to generate this curvature, and then I'm going to copy this 4 times. Okay, I'm going to copy this 4 times in the remaining 4 regions. Okay, remaining 4 regions. So even though we have divided this into 2 regions, okay, still the both the regions we are plotting. Okay, both the regions we are plotting, and then we are going to copy this in the remaining quadrants. Okay, remaining quadrants. Okay, so move each calculated pixel position x comma y onto the elliptical path centered on xc comma yc, and while copying we will also translate the ellipse center onto the xcyc. Okay, xcyc by this calculation, and it will happen for each quadrant. Okay, so it will happen for each quadrant. So for first quadrant it is going to be addition. Okay, for second quadrant it is going to be one addition, one subtraction, and for third quadrant it is going to be both subtractions. And repeat the steps for region 1 until 2 ry square x greater than equal to 2 rx square y. Okay, so that is going to be the termination condition as far as the loop is concerned. Okay, as far as the loop is concerned, so we'll take a quick example. Okay, so given input ellipse parameters as rx equal to 8, ry equal to 6. Okay, we illustrate the steps. So 2 ry square x is equal to 0. Okay, and 2 rx square y equal to 2 rx square ry. Okay, so with increment minus 2 rx square as minus 128. Okay, so for region 1, okay, the initial point for ellipse centered on origin is x0 y0, that is 0 comma 6. Okay, and the initial position decision parameter value, that is P10 is ry square minus rx square ry plus 0.25 rx square, that comes out to be minus 332. So we find the decision parameter in this, okay, based on the sign. Okay, so sign is negative. So what we do is we increment x, but we do not decrement y. Okay, we increment x, we do not decrement y. Okay, again we check the next decision parameter, okay, and its sign. So again the sign is negative, so we again only increment x and do not decrement y. Okay, we continue this further. Okay, we continue this further. Okay, the second value, that is the third iteration, k value is 2. Again we get the value of p1k as negative, so again we do not decrement y, we only increment x. Then the fourth iteration we get the value of p1k as positive, so we increment x and we also decrement y. Okay, the fifth iteration, the k value 4. Okay, again we get negative value, so we increment x, we do not decrement y. Okay, then in the sixth iteration again we get positive value, so we decrement y and the coordinate becomes 6 comma 4. And in sixth, that is seventh iteration, the value is again positive, so we increment x and we decrement y, so 7 comma 3. Okay, 7 comma 3. So we now move out of region 1, since 2 ry square x is greater than 2 rx square y. So that condition we are continuously checking over here. Okay, so we need to check 2 ry square x whether it is greater than 2 rx square y. So this is 2 ry square x and this is 2 rx square y. So in all previous 6 iterations, as you can see, this particular column value is less than this value, and the moment we entered into the 7th iteration, the value is 504. Okay, and this value is 384, so this value becomes less than this. Okay, this value becomes less than this, so we move out of the region the moment 2 ry square x becomes greater than 2 rx square y. So this value is now greater than this value, and before this iteration, before all these 6 iterations, as you can see, 72 is less than this, 144 less than this, 216 less than this, 288 less than this, 360 less than this, 432 less than this, then 504 greater than 384. Okay, so then we will draw the elliptical coordinates in this manner. Okay, in this manner, and plot the points. So the first points, okay, 7 points. So starting from the first point, that is 0 comma 6, then second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh. Okay, till this point we have plotted. Okay, from this point onwards, as you can see, we will be using this particular decision parameter value. So x0 equal to 7, y0 equal to 3. Okay, we will use in this decision parameter and come up with this particular table. So k equal to 0, p2k becomes minus 151. Okay, so since it is less than 0, what we are going to do, we are going to not increment x, we are going to only decrement y. Okay, not increment x, only decrement y. Okay, then when it is p1 0, that is k0, the p2k value becomes positive. At that time we are going to again increment x, not to increment x, only decrement y. And again in the third iteration, that is 745, k value 2, p2k 745. Okay, we are again not going to increment x, only decrement y. Okay, and at every point we will keep checking. Okay, we will keep checking this particular condition. Okay, this particular condition. And when we plot all the points over here, okay, when we plot all the points over here, okay, we basically get the ellipse in the first quadrant, combined region 1 and region 2. Okay, combined region 1 and region 2. Okay, and we copy this particular stuff. Okay, copy this particular stuff 3 times. Okay, and since we also have to translate the coordinate from coordinate origin, center of the ellipse from coordinate origin to the specified point xc comma yc, so we do this simultaneously 4 times. Okay, throughout the program. So after this we will see the C program for the ellipse generation using midpoint ellipse algorithm. Okay, so here we see the algorithm that is programmed, okay, in C graphics for the midpoint ellipse. So as you can see over here, I have included stdio.h, graphics.h, okay, then math.h and connection input output.h. Okay, so now instead of using a separate function, the whole program has been made inside the void main. So there is only one function, that is void main. So int gd equal to detect comma gm. I am using float variables p x y x c y c a b, and in this program rx equal to a and ry equal to b. So whatever rx ry we saw in the algorithm, okay, I am replacing them by a and b. A and b is more closely related with the ellipse, since we tend to call the major axis A and minor axis B. So that is why I have used familiar terms. Okay, XC YC are going to represent the ellipse center. Okay, XC YC are going to represent the ellipse center. Okay, then init graph ampersand GD ampersand GM and the physical address of the graphics drivers of this Turbo C package, that is C Turbo C3 BGI. Clear device and asking user to enter the center coordinates of ellipse and storing them in XYZ, and then asking user to also enter the major and minor axis of ellipse and storing them in A and B respectively. Okay, then we say x equal to 0, y equal to b, and then we calculate for region 1 initially the decision parameter, so that is b square minus a square b plus 0.25 a square, okay, plus 0.25 a square, and we have used do while loop. Okay, do while loop. So do, that is, see, in do while loop the first statements, okay, immediately entered after the do, okay, will be executed without checking any condition. Okay, will be executed without checking any condition. So that is put pixel xc plus x yc plus y, and I have given color code that is white. Okay, so this is for the first quadrant. Okay, then xc plus x yc minus y, this is for the fourth quadrant. Then xc minus x yc plus y, that is for the third quadrant, and xc minus x yc minus y, that is for the third quadrant. Okay, so yeah, this one is for the second quadrant and this one is for the third quadrant, and then we enter into the algorithm, that is if p less than 0, we are going to increment x and check the next decision parameter, that is p plus 2b square x plus b square. Okay, plus b square. Else we are going to increment x and decrement y, and the next decision parameter is going to be p plus 2b square x minus 2a square y plus b square. Okay, while the slope condition, that is slope minus 1, so the slope condition is put here in these terms, 2b square x less than 2a square y. Okay, 2b square x less than 2a square y, this is a termination condition for do while loop. And then we enter into the region 2, we enter into the region 2. So the decision parameter in region 2 is b square plus x plus 0.5 into x plus 0.5 plus y minus 1 into y minus 1 a square minus a square b square. Okay, and immediately inside the do while loop we are going to similarly translate and copy using the put pixel command in the remaining four quadrants, or the all four quadrants, and then checking the condition, if p greater than 0 we are going to decrement y and not to increment x, and p, the next decision parameter is going to be p minus 2a square y plus a square. Else we are going to increment x and decrement y. So the next decision parameter is given as p minus 2a square y plus 2b square x plus a square, and the termination condition for the second region is while y not equal to 0. Okay, while y not equal to 0, and then we have get ch, we are going to close the graph, and that is the end of the program. So let us just try to compile the program. Okay, there are no errors. And then when I try to run the program, okay, we will put the values of the center as 200 comma 200, and the major axis I will put as, let's say, 80, and minor axis I will put as 60, and this is the ellipse. Okay, this is the ellipse. So the ellipse generation is also possible, and using a fairly simple logic. Okay, not too difficult to understand. Okay, not too difficult to understand. Uh, so I hope this has understood. And uh, we have seen the midpoint ellipse algorithm. Okay, we have seen the midpoint circle algorithm, Bresenham circle algorithm, Bresenham line, and DDA line. Okay, and I hope everything is understood well, and hope to see you next time with more such exciting content. So stay tuned with this channel for more interesting content. Thank you very much.